Hey everyone, so you've just landed your first job ever on a proper film set. You're nervous, excited, and have no idea what to expect. What time do you arrive? What should you wear? Who do you report to? In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what your first day on set looks like, from call sheet to wrap, so you feel confident, prepared, and ahead of the game. I've worked in HETV and feature films for over a decade, and I've helped lots of new crew through their journey into the film industry. When I was finding my feet in the industry, there was no resources available to crew to prepare you. I just had to turn up and learn the hard way, by making mistakes. That's why I created this channel, to help and support you. What's a call sheet? I'm going to give you a rough and ready explanation of a call sheet because I will do a deep dive in another video. It is a Bible for the current shoot day, telling you what we are going to shoot, where and in what order, what cast members are in them, and when certain people will be arriving to set and how. The primary bits to be aware of will differ depending on your department. Generally, you need to check call time and pre-calls, type of day, which is a standard working day, semi-continuous working day, or continuous working day, or splits or nights, location, like set and unit base, and where crew parking is, what the scenes you are shooting are. The call sheet will tell you the scene numbers, what location they are at, which cast are in it, including extras. Often there will be notes between the scenes on call sheets with extra instructions, like if the crew need to move locations or if the scenes will be running together. You also need to check the unit notes section to make sure that there are no special instructions for the day that you need to be aware of. What to pack. Comfy clothes, layers, make sure they're comfortable and practical footwear, waterproofs like wet weather clothes, reusable water bottle and a thermos. Also, depending on the type of content you are shooting in the scene, that may inform you on what clothes you need to bring. For example, if you're hiking up some difficult terrain to get to your shooting location, you may need to take walking boots over trainers. What mindset do you need? The film industry is a high competition industry. You need to be bringing your A game each day. Punctuality is important, lateness costs production time and money, but more importantly, it will put extra strain and stress on your department and you will not get hired again if this happens often. Plan ahead, arrive with plenty of time to get to set, be polite and be ready to learn. When tensions are running high on set, usually when time is running out, crew can often get quite abrupt when communicating. Don't take it personally. If you've made a mistake, once you have time to reflect and make sure you learn from it, don't make the same mistake again. This will be critical if you want repeat work. In junior roles, it's important to mould yourself to the more senior department crew members' ways of working if you want to increase the chance of them hiring you again. Listen, be present, and give everything 110%, and get stuck in. Arrival etiquette. Let's assume that you are going to get breakfast from unit base in the morning. You need to check these details the night before, where crew parking is. If it's not at base, factor in travel time to eat, then travel time from base to set. Production provide minibuses for this. If you haven't got a pre-call, you want to aim to get to set about 15 minutes before your call time, depending on your role, department, and how your HODs prefer to work, but that's a good rule of thumb. Who to report to? You would report to the next senior person in your department. For example, if you're a floor runner, you would report to the third AD, even if your HOD would be the first AD in that department. But if you're a locations marshal, you would report to the locations manager. Once you get into the swing of how your production and how your team want to work, you will soon know what you need to do without much instruction. Set protocols. You will need to find the third AD to get your radio for the shoot and a battery. Turn it on and do a radio check with your department. There should be a sticker on the radio that says which department or on which channel, and it's also written on the call sheet. This is where you say radio check on your channel and someone will radio back saying good check so that you know it's working. Replacement batteries are given out from the AD department. They will also provide you with sides. This is an A5 call sheet stapled together with the script from the corresponding scenes of the day. Let's talk about set etiquette. The film industry has an army-like way of working. You do as the person above you tells you to do, unless they're asking you to do something unsafe. You need to have respect for your HODs. If they are asking you to do something or have to tell you off for doing something, they should only be doing that if they have good reason. You should always keep out of the way of crew carrying heavy equipment. Let the director and cast past you. Don't make any noise during takes or rehearsals. If you are on the floor when the scenes are happening, don't be in cast members' eye lines. You should never touch another department's equipment unless they have asked you to. Be polite. We're all there to achieve the same goal. Common nerves. Day one nerves are a very common thing. I still got them after working in the industry for a decade. As much as you are skilled at your job, there are always plenty of unknowns, like new crew to work with and a different HOD, and completely new locations. This is part of the fun of working in the industry. Every day is different. Also, I think the nerves are a sign that you care about what you're doing and you want to do a good job. First scene of the day. Find out where the first scene of the day is being filmed and get familiar with the setup and your surroundings. Depending on your role, you will have different expectations of what is required next. For the most part, what will happen is technical crew will get set up, HODs will discuss blocking of the scene, usually going over which cast will be where for what actions and lines and discuss how to shoot it. Then further setup happens while cast are on their way. Then you have a director's rehearsal in which all crew on set must stop works and be quiet. Following from this, you might have what's called a crew show. This is so that all departments can see the rehearsal before going for a take, to understand what will be required of them before trying to get one in the can. Next, you will start going into coverage, often starting with the wide, master shot and going into tighter on cast before doing the reverse coverage. During this time, everyone needs to be quiet during takes. Once you hear cut, listen to the radio for further instruction. You will be informed if you are on channel 1, if we are resetting and going for another take, or if we're moving on. Listening to updates on channel 1 will allow you to understand the structure of the day, and once you've got to know your cast and crew, you will know what is required before being asked. Scene complete. This is when you are most likely required to move. Sometimes you may be doing back-to-back scenes in the same location, but more often than not you need to do a move of some sort. Either you could be shooting in various rooms in a single house and now need to shoot in a different room with different casts and different requirements, or you need to do a complete tech move, which means packing, de-rigging, packing up onto the trucks and driving to a new location to unload and set up once more. Lunch. Depending on the type of day you are doing will dictate what your lunch break looks like. For example, on a standard working day is a 1 hour lunch with a designated eating area either on location or back at base. A semi-continuous working day is a 30-minute lunch break on set, and a continuous working day is a running lunch, which will be available for usually a 2-hour period and is to be eaten while working. So you have to sort of navigate between your department who eats and when at what time. On set shorthand terms. There are probably lots and lots of these terms that you will have never heard of before. If you click on the link that I'll put in the screen or it'll be in the description below, you can download my free list of on-set terminology so that you know what is being said on set. I remember one of my early experiences on set. It was day 3 on a production called Crims. I grabbed my radio in the morning and I was unloading my kit from the truck to take it to the stage in Twickenham Studios. And it sort of dawned on me just how much I didn't understand that was being said over the radio. This resource would have saved me a fair few awkward conversations if I'd had it at that time. Standing out. You need to expect that there's going to be periods of standing around, like especially when you're in the more junior roles. Use them to observe, ask questions, pay attention to what everyone is doing. Always ask, is there anything I can help with? Also, if there isn't anything you can do in your department in that moment, you may be able to help someone else from a different department. Helping others builds you goodwill, and others will help you when you need it afterwards. This is worth doing if you get into a tight spot at like 5 AM on a Saturday morning after a long week of night shoots and you need to lift something down 4 flights of stairs. Someone you helped earlier will help you then. Make sure you stay off your phone, stay alert, and don't disappear. I've seen this too many times on set from people who are giving an opportunity that they evidently didn't want, judging by their application. They spent far too much time distracted and not be present and giving it their best on set. Once you're familiar with what's going on, try to be proactive and show willing. Attitude is everything on set, and that willingness to get involved and do any task presented to you at the best of your ability will get you hired again, I promise. Write down anything you learn. This will be helpful for you to refer back to. You should also be making some notes about what your department peers are, like what their likes and dislikes are, their hobbies. This can help you build a rapport. You may find that that person you report to likes a special kind of tea or sweet. You could bring some in on the next day, and if they like a particular sport, you could start getting familiar with it to be able to make conversation. Wrap. We are coming to the end of the day. You're on the last scene of the day, last few shots of the scene are coming up. Usually crew will start getting rid of anything that they don't need to get back to their technical vehicles, so that their get out is faster. Then completely de-rig once wrap is called. Sometimes you have what's called a Hollywood wrap, where you are shooting in the same place the following day and you don't need to de-rig to the trucks, so you just make sure everything is safe and covered before exit. You still need to carry yourself the same way as you were at the start of the day, abiding set etiquette. Wrap will be called down channel 1 and verbally on set when it happens. You will help your department do any de-rigging that you need to do, whether that's bringing in cable stands, emptying bins, or if it's collecting cast members and making sure they get back to unit base. Make sure you communicate closely with your department so that all tasks are completed. Get a minimus back to unit base, get in your car, and drive home. Congratulations, day 1 is in the can. Common first day mistakes to avoid. Showing up late is not acceptable. On time is late in this industry. You don't want your department to be holding up shooting because you were late. Asking for selfies or trying to promote your script to talent. This is not acceptable, especially if you have no rapport with them. If you have spent a whole job building a relationship with someone, then do it at the end of production, or if you know if it's their last day. Not knowing who's who and treating them as such. Everyone deserves a basic level of respect. We're all humans working together, but you do need to know who the HODs are and who the higher level execs are. Acting like you already know everything. You don't. Trust me. Also, everyone has a slightly different ways of working, so you've got to be malleable at the start of your career. Encouragement and reassurance. Look, your first day won't be perfect. You'll mess something up. You'll feel lost, but that's all part of it. Every single production you work on will be different, with different crew, different cast, different script, different expectations. It's always different. This is one of the beautiful things about this industry. Most crew will help you along the way. The bigger jobs do come with bigger expectations. So if you manage to land one of those gigs first, learn quickly and have some thick skin. Get on people's good side and they will help you succeed. You will find this industry will test you in many ways. It is the committed, the resilient, and the ones that persevere that will make it. Find your tribe of crew. By this, I mean the ones that you get on best with and enjoy your work with the most. Because when you are doing 14 hours a day with each other on a job that's 150 miles away from where you live, and you're there for 4 months, you'll be spending a lot of time with one another. The only way to find them though is through trial and error. It can be the best of times, but it requires a lot of work to make it good. Have you got your first day coming up? Let me know. Or if you have a general question about working in the film industry, leave it in the comment section below and I'll answer it for you. If this has helped you feel more prepared, hit that like button and please subscribe for weekly tips and helpful tips and advice for the film industry. See you soon.